How you doing, guys? I'm Sean.
Hi everybody, I'm Lynn. I hope you're keeping really well and having the most amazing of days.
Absolutely magical day. And this is Rusty, of course.
This is
those who don't know.
Rusty.
Guys, listen, today's video we're going to be talking about grids, crystal grids, and just how we actually go about it. And you know, this came about because one of our dear friends on Facebook and YouTube here had an amazing grid that she done, and she didn't want to post it to put it out there because they genuinely, in her words, that you know, she felt a wee bit, you know, of all these other grids that's knocking about, all these different angles and the amount of crystals and all involved in it. She actually didn't really want to put her crystal grid out there. So we turned in and said, show us it, let us see it.
Because she was worried what people would think of her grid. And by the way, her grid was absolutely beautiful.
Fantastic. The energy from it was amazing. And that's what it just spurred us on here to do this video, because there seemed to be a lot of wizardry knocking about and everybody showboating and who's got the biggest crystal or who's got the best grid or who can do this and who can do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's not what it's about here, guys. It's all about intention. And, you know, we have to, all of us, ourselves included, to be watching, you know, our egos and making sure that we don't get a wee bit heads in the clouds.
Because people are asking us quite often, aren't they? They say, how do you make a crystal grid? Because they see all these crystal grids and they get really confused. You think, oh my God, I don't know where to start with a crystal grid. But really, it is all about intention. And many years ago, I'm not telling you how long,
152.
I liked it when I first got into crystals. Obviously, I used to look at these crystal grids in all the crystal books, and I used to see other people's crystal grids, and I thought, God, they're like a work of art, they're amazing. How do I do that? Where do I start? And I used to look at all my crystals and think, oh my God, I don't know how to start with this. And I put off doing crystal grids for such a long time. When I used to send healing to people, I used to just, you know, get one crystal and then put it onto a photograph or positive. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that works equally as well. So don't think if you've only got one crystal, you only want to use one. That still works. But doing the grids is something else, isn't it? It really is.
And this is what we want to do, is we just want to take the wizardry out of this here. And it's all about intention. It's a wee man here. It's all about intention. We don't want you to not proceed with something because you happen to think that somebody may or may not be better than you, or somebody knows more about crystals or knows more about grids because they've got a certificate or because they went to such and such a workshop. Don't let that fall into your vibration. So what we're going to say to you here is this. It's very simple to do it.
Anyone can do it.
Anybody can do it. You don't need to be a wizard. You don't need to go to a Hogwarts School of Wizardry with Harry Potter to learn it.
Yeah.
It starts with the most important thing in anything in life is your intention. If you've got a positive intention, you turn and say, do you know what? I actually want to send somebody some healing. I want to send somebody some positivity. I want to send myself some positivity or some healing. Then that's where it is, your intention. And that's
coming from a pure heart, isn't it? You can't go wrong.
And you can get yourselves books and you can look at the grids and you can join the workshops and you can do the thing. It's all fantastic. But we honestly tell you that all it starts is with, you can start it with one crystal. As Lynn said, like, even if you wanted to send somebody some healing, I know technically a grid, you see, is meant to be a series of points all interconnected to each other. That's okay. We're actually saying you can actually do it with one crystal. And you can start off with one crystal. You can actually put a photograph. Come on, big man.
Oh, you rusty bear.
So say for toxic, like, as you know yourself, Rusty, he took a turn there on us a while back, and he's all sent lovely healing thoughts to him. So he's not 100%, but he's still there. He's still really in love. He's 15 years of age, and you know. So say for toxic, we wanted to send Rusty healing, or you wanted to send a wee friend's dog, or a cat, or a rabbit, or anything like that, or even your own. What you could do is you could put a photograph down onto the table of the person, of the animal, even of the situation, and you can place one crystal of your choice. You know, if your intention is that, you know, this crystal here, I really want to send this person so much love. You can pick a rose quartz if you wanted to. You can pick some celestite, celestine. You can pick an amethyst. You could turn in and say, do you know what? I want to send this person some love, and you could do that. Place the crystal then on top of the photograph. Just one crystal, and that's your intention, and that's basically the start of your grid.
It's a good way to start with crystal grids, by starting simple, isn't it?
Oh,
start really simple. Oh, wee man. Starting simple with just one crystal, and that's the best way to start.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. You carry on there.
And I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, because for many years, when I first got into crystals, I was really put off doing crystal grids because I used to look at them all, like I said, in the books and that, and I think, oh, it looks really confusing. Where do I start? And Anyway, like the biggest thing I could say is what I did the one day. I just thought, God, I really want to send some healing. And I just started picking up a few crystals, purely going off my own intuition, collection of different ones I felt drawn to, and I just started by putting like one there, one there, one there, and after about 10 minutes I made the most amazing grid just by putting a collection of crystals out. So, and now I absolutely love doing grids. I love doing them. When I hear somebody's been poorly or anything like that, I go and do a crystal grid and I'm in my element, and I look at them after, I think, do you know, it's like a work of art. It's absolutely beautiful. Sean's back. Absolutely beautiful. So if you're putting it from the heart, you really can't go wrong. You really can't, can you?
Yeah, we had to, the floors here a bit slidey.
Rusty's little feet
he doesn't
slide
like a
all
wooden
over the
floor,
place.
so he starts sliding, so we had to carry him out. Yeah, where were we? Were you getting into...
Yeah, just saying about, for many years I put off doing a crystal grid because I was scared. Because I used to look at all the ones in the books and they looked absolutely amazing, and I used to think, oh my God, where do I start with that? And then the one day I just started picking up a crystal, doing a lovely grid, just purely going off my own heart, like there.
And Lyn's grids
the
now are absolutely fantastic.
And now I absolutely love doing the grids, and I love it.
That has all came about as taking the power away, because we all give each other power. You know what I mean? And it's, you could read a book, or you could see a YouTube video, you could actually watch a TV program, and you automatically give somebody a bit of power away from yourself. But you're an intuitive being. We're all intuitive beings. There's nobody more smarter or more aware or more creative than another person. It's all within here. It's just we have to explore and we have to share it. So what I would suggest you to do is begin, as I say, tell you start with one crystal, your intention. You're going to make a grid. What you can do, everybody's doing it different. This is just our way, and we think it's quite simple. You don't need to do a chart, you don't need a bad chart, you don't need to draw a chart, but sometimes we find it's good to get the visualization until you become more okay with working a grid. Get yourself, and what you can do is just get yourself another page like this here, and you'll be putting in a circle around the outside, and you can put down the 4 directions: north, east, south and west, and you can actually put the other redirections in the centre if you wanted to, and that would be your basis. And what you could do there is you could position, so let's say for talk's sake, you wanted to send somebody who's been through a bad relationship, or someone who's feeling quite bad about themselves, not loved up, and they need a bit more encouragement. What you could do is you could place, let's say work on the common thing, probably rose quartz for talk's sake. So what you would do is you place a piece of rose quartz in the centre. The centre would be symbolic of the person that you're wanting to be sending the healing towards. So let's say for talk's sake, this is good here, you want to send the energy to that person. So what you would do is you make sure your points would be going in. So in this circumstances, I'd be sitting saying, place a piece of rose quartz in the centre of the grid. Okay, that would be symbolic of the person. So your intention is that night, but a rose quartz is that person. Then you would be positioning also rose quartz around the cardinal directions. So you put one on east, south, west and north. And what you'd be doing then is getting wee points, wee simple points like that, clear quartz points, and directing the energy from the cardinal directions, the east, south, west and north, directing in towards the centre, in towards your friend, in towards your loved one, even in towards yourself. And that energy would be constantly coming into the centre. And that's why you would actually see the wee arrows be going in. Now, let's say for talk's sake, a different scenario is you wanted to send love and healing energy out to the world. At this current situation, you want to send some peace to the world. Well, you'd be, once again, positioning a crystal in the centre to your choosing. You could actually, amethyst, let's say for talk's sake, an all-round healing crystal. Place the amethyst in the centre, and that would be symbolic of your what your energy is going to be going out. And in north, south, east and west, you'd be directing the energy outward. So once you position your new crystals around the outside, direct your points, your clear quartz points, out from the centre, out into them directions. And basically what that's doing is radiating the love and healing energy outward. If you wanted healing energy go towards a person, towards yourself, towards a loved one, direct the points towards from the outside direction. So that way it's pulling all the energy from all the directions throughout the world into your friend, into you, into the centre, radiating all the energy on out through the world. You want to do peace and things like that.
Lovely to do a world's healing grid, isn't it?
Healing grid, and you can make it as elaborate if you wanted to, and you can make it, as big. You can make it as small. It's all about intention.
As simple as you want, as complicated as you want.
And that's it. And we're uncomplicated people because we believe that's what we are in this physical extension of spiritual dimension. That we are quite simple people. We don't need to have the showboating.
Simple Simons.
Simple Simons. Simple
Hope
Philomenas.
not too simple though.
And why that is because we can sometimes cloud the issue. We can sink a wee bit overboard and start getting caught up in the routine, caught up in, I have to use another 10 crystals, I have to use 5 different quartz, I have to use this quartz, this, going through the books to find out what crystal goes in what position or what direction it goes to. We're here to say to you it doesn't work that way. For us it doesn't work that way, and I actually don't think it works for you that way, unless of course you believe you have to do it that way.
Go purely by what you're drawn
Intuition.
to, your intuition, and what crystals you want to use for your grid. And it can even be, do you know, if you want to do a grid and just put 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, you know, and that is your intention for the grid. It will work in the same way as doing one all complicated. It really is going by your own instinct on making the grid, and your heart is pure behind it, and your reasons for doing the grid, for sending the healing, is pure.
And it doesn't have to also be quartz, it doesn't have to be crystals, it doesn't have to be the minerals. The fact of the matter is, it could be something symbolic to you that would trigger something in your mind. It would be like, and even like, say for talk's sake, a wedding ring. Say for talk's sake, you had, you know, a wedding ring or a piece of jewellery belonging to a person or something that reminds you of a particular person. Place that somewhere within the grid. You decide where you put it. Now, we're going to get into the Native American medicine wheel about east, south, west and north, about the different directions, each having an animal totem. Eagle in the east, mouse, depending on what tribe, of course, mouse or coyote or wolf in the south, bear in the west, and of course north would be buffalo. Now basically it's entirely up to you if you want to follow any particular line of making a grid. The ancient Celts had, you've only seen the stones, the dolmens and all that going on around, all intentional. We're living in 2014. It is 2014, isn't it?
2014 now. I know the year's going so quick, I don't know where we are.
I had to actually check and see, but basically we're living in this era now, and we're not from, you know, thousands of years ago. Our spirit is still there, still resides there, but we have to live in this reality. So you can have a big quartz crystals here, you can have a small tabletop, you can do one in the garden. It's up to you. We have to adapt to the situation. Nothing's too fancy in our life. So that's what I'd ask you to do, is try to be simple in life. Make your intention pure of heart, and actually you'll see that the magic actually works. In that context, you start off with simple crystal. You choose what crystals you want to put down. It doesn't matter whether they're tourmaline, amethyst, citrine, whatever you decide to put down. And it really doesn't matter if you wanted to put down a plant or a seed or a leaf.
Exactly. You can also use twigs or leaves, can't you, as well, to do a grid. It won't be a crystal grid, obviously, but it'd be a healing grid. Yeah. Remember, it's your intention. You're sending that out there. If you really haven't got any crystals, you can use some lovely leaves or acorns or anything that you feel, you know, sacred things. It works the same, doesn't it? Your intention is going out there.
And if, say, for talk's sake, or someone ill, Lyn was saying if you wanted to put a photograph of that person down. If someone has even passed over to spirit and you wanted to just send love and healing energy, sometimes it's good to put a visualization down.
Somebody, an
put a
animal.
photograph of someone who's passed over, an animal even is right.
Animal, a person who's
passed
over.
And you wanted just to send love and healing energy to that person or animal, spirit.
They will still receive it.
Mm-hmm. Put the photograph of the person, or you could even draw the symbol in the centre. Mm-hmm. The centre, you see, is the most important because everything radiates out from the centre. And everything can go into the centre, and that's why the centre is the most important. So you can choose a lovely quartz in the centre. You can put a photograph. Actually, I'm sure you wanted to put a dollar bill or a euro or a sterling in the centre. You wanted to attract money.
That's true. And the good thing with crystals, although like I say, you can make a healing grid using twigs or anything like that. The one thing about crystals that is good about using them with the healing grid is that they do magnify. So they magnify everything and magnify your intentions.
So if you wanted really like a romance into your life, you can actually use it. If you wanted to an abundance of wealth, and health and happiness, once again, that's your intention. Place it in the centre and direct the energy into it. If you want help from all directions, if you wanted to help out from it, place a special crystal. If you wanted the manifestation crystal, you wanted something to change in your life, place a manifestation crystal in the centre and get the energy to direct out to all the cardinal points from the centre outward. Guys, listen, that is a basic rundown on grids, and we hope we haven't confused the issue. I'd like to think we haven't. But just go with your own intuition. Nothing's too special, nothing's too fancy. Look, we all done it. We all put the 50 crystals in the grids and every type of the rainbows, and when the ego was quite high, we have found we don't need it now. It's all intention. You can put down 5 crystals, 4 crystals, 1 crystal, 2 crystals. It's all about intention. If your intention is pure, please go with that, because you are an intuitive being. If you want to be a wizard, that's up to yourself. Try to be the intuitive being, and I think you're the best person in the world.
Absolutely, that's very good. Yeah, I agree there.
Guys,
totally.
listen, sending you love from Ireland. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and also maybe check out our meditation channel, which we've just started there. Helps you bring you into a nice wee plateau of relaxation. But thanks very much for watching, guys, and send you love from Ireland.
Send you loads of love and happiness from Ireland as always. Till the next video. Bye.
Don't be giving your power away to anybody, guys. See you later.